Alright guys, so in this series what I'm trying to do is learn how to tattoo. So first up, as you can see, I've done 7 Pokemon in 7 days. This has been a fun adventure so far. It's really done my head in some aspects, but learning how to shade in that is getting easier. Lining is coming in a lot smoother now. So yeah, I'm really excited about this whole project. Okay, so on this first one, I was so nervous. It was... I can't even explain it. For some reason, I was shaking. As you can see, I forgot my gloves, so the nerves are definitely showing. Alright, so the line work on the first one, it was pretty good. I didn't have too many faults in it at all. However, the shading, I overworked that Jigglypuff like no tomorrow. I tried to ease up on the Pikachu, which I did. However, I eased up too much and it's got a lot of skin breaks through the actual colour as well. This is the first time I ever worked with colour. So this is all learning curves, guys. This is what this whole thing is for me to learn from my mistakes. Those eyes on the Jigglypuff are terrible. They annoy me still to this day. I hate them. Okay, so day 2. I was a little bit more confident, but I played with the machine speed at this stage to see if that helped on my lines, which slowed me down a lot. A lot of splatters here, so I believe what happened was a bit of ink actually got dried up in the needle that I'm using. Now these aren't expensive needles, they are cheaper needles that I'm using. Alright, day 3, I decided that it was time to try to rectify my shading. Throughout this, I've only got a 3, 5 and 7 liner and a 9 round shader and mag. Had no real trouble with lines once again. Now this shading is going to be a big issue. Let's see if I can get it a bit more solid and without lines. Don't think I actually pulled it off on this one. I was really disappointed by the end of Eevee. There was a lot of, you can see it, it looks like pencil. It literally looks like a kid coloured in with pencil. So was not impressed with my shading at all on this one. Getting into day 4, I was a lot more confident with line work now. I did find that the needles that I'm using, they are a cheaper base needle. They are not the best, so I do have to upgrade at some point, but for practice I think they're fine. I get really confident on this line work. As you can see, I don't really hesitate. At the beginning, I start wiping every time I do a couple of lines. I find this does take my stencil off, so not the best. These two are my 2 favourite out of every single one I did out of this series. I love Chikorita and Totodile. They are my favourite. Like, I know I can see line shading in there and it does look like a pencil. I'm still learning at this point, guys. That's the whole point of it, like I said. But they are my favourite. Although, I do believe if I was to put them onto skin, they would just look like a big black blob at the end. So, I do have to put a lot more white space or open space in my tattoos. Back on day 5. Now, Oddish, I actually went back with line work. Not sure what happened, but there's a lot of hiccups in it. Every day I've picked my machine up, I really have learned new things. From pulling lines, how not to shade. I've got to work on holding my skins out. They're very hard to actually hold like a normal skin. I've got this bad habit of forgetting to Vaseline in between. Follow here, I lost a lot of the stencil, so a lot of that was freehand, which still turned out alright, so I got to learn a new skill. How to put a stencil in that's not there. Tried the manga style over here. Day 6, getting close to the end of it now. Alright, Cyndaquil, I was really excited about doing him in a way because I wanted to really contrast these colours in his flames on his back. However, I failed. I failed hard. It really wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be to contrast these colours in. I really outlined the red way too hard around the yellow, which made it just not quite merge over, looking like two separate colours. Coming down to my last day, day 7. I got to do Bulbasaur and Charmander all day. Oh, the line work in this, I'm loving my line work. Never really had an issue with these guys. Turn out beautiful, no mistakes. Then I decided it was time to not just shade, but to use shade and colour to see what it looks like and see if it stands out that little bit more. With the open space of the white, as you can see a lot more in these two, overall the shading and colour on those are probably the best. Any tips and hints that you may have to help enhance my abilities, please feel free to leave them down below. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the content today, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and leave a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you next month.